I'm sure we're all getting burned out on all the radio repair videos, but I've kind of taken to doing these because they're easy and don't require a lot of cranial discharge, because I've got a lot of other projects going on right now. So we'll get into some TVs in I need to get working on some TVs, working on some TVs, hopefully early next month. This is here we have Juliet. This thing is basically new old stock. In fact, I have the box and everything that this goes in. And I found this at an estate sale. I think I paid $1 for it. And it's pretty much completely new old stock. This is glued on the back. Sure, like the police use 148 to 174. J-deck I wonder what a J-deck transistor is. G-deck. And it's one of these things that's just completely coated in wax. Ooh, I totally just have a candle party and just pour wax all over it. And the problem is the FM does not work. But the police and aircraft and weather bands do work. And the AM works. Now I'm assuming this is a stacked IF. So it uses one IF transistor for each for both the AM and the FM. But I don't have a schematic, and I don't know where I would get a schematic. But yeah, let's plug it in and check it out. And this is for all the boxophiles and original manual freaks out there. Look at that. $1973.
And then descend to 3,000.
See airplanes. think.
Localizer and visual approaching east runway 25. Simultaneous approaches in progress between Hawthorne and Los Angeles. Advise us for contact. You have information. Golf. 0000 Zulu weather. Wind 2407. Visibility 10. Sky clear. Temperature 22. Dew point 17. Altimeter 2986. Localizer and visual approaching east runway 25. Simultaneous approaches in progress between Hawthorne and Los Angeles. Advise us for contact. You have information. Golf. 0000 Zulu weather. Wind 2407. Visibility 10. Sky clear. Temperature 22. Dew point 17. Altimeter 2986. Localizer and visual approaching east runway 25. Simultaneous approaches in progress.
Alright, so that's aircraft, which I thought aircraft was AM. I don't know. There sure doesn't seem to be much gain on this band. This is FM here, and there's nothing. It's totally dead.
Sometimes out of to what this team is going to do offensively. He's got an outside shot.
Come on.
Free and your donation.
This is the place.
Approved based off what demo can see.
This is Karen Harlow. Good afternoon. It's Sunday, October 12th. Here's what's happening at 5:05. A sick woman on a flight at LAX causes high anxiety among officials. Thousands of people in Los Angeles continue a tradition started in 1985 to benefit those with AIDS. Teachers in San Diego County are taking to the streets.
Minuto en el Step Up. Tú puedes conseguirlo hasta ganar.
Okay. So FM is dead. Both AM and, I would expect that with this wide open, it should be majorly clipping, and it should be way over the limits of the output of the amp, but there's lack of...
Las entradas fuertes.
192 right now. There was a bad crash here. It said it was police activity. They made an arrest. Somebody had been driving.
Reach.
Muchísimas gracias.
Okay, so we have no FM, and we have a general lack of gain. Audio gain. Now, I've had problems with these transistors, these little dome transistors before. They seem to be kind of problematic. I think they're early silicon transistors, and they just seem to be problematic. So it's very possible that this over here is for weather, the aircraft and weather and police band, and this is for AM and FM. So it's very possible we have two different oscillators, and the oscillator is not running for the FM. Now, how would I know? How would I have any clue, which one of these is the FM oscillator? Just no way of knowing without a schematic. But what I was thinking about doing is feeding 10.7 into it with the signal generator and seeing if the IF was awake. And that would kind of help me narrow down if the oscillator transistor wasn't running. Got to get some Mrs. Miller on this situation. I'll tell you what.
Spirit
Well, I figured out how this came apart. In fact, it was already unscrewed. And I'm looking at that transistor right there. At least I think that's the oscillator. And of course it's underneath the wheel here. So to get to the transistor, you have to take the dial string off, which is, you know, suicide in itself. Okay, this thing just keeps kind of getting better. Okay, so that goes around there, and then around there, and then back around there, and then down there, and around there, and then back up. And then those two are linked together, but it's weird how stripped out these screws are. Like someone's been in here already, and then those two are linked together. Seriously, getting this thing back together is going to be almost impossible. This, no.
I'm so proud. We're now the #1.
Okay, I took that one out and it didn't fix it, so then I took that one out and that one and turned it into be the AM converter.
I tell you right there on the phone, if you can, no money out of pocket. There are no upfront costs.
So I'm just making a mess here. Alright, continuing on with the, what brand was this? Juvenile or Junkophile? I don't even remember now. I believe I located the FM oscillator transistor, and the transistor measure is completely open all the way around, so I stuck this in there, and I'm getting a little bit of hiss now, but no actual performance out of the radio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try putting the AM, the one that was in the AM converter, in there, because maybe this is not high frequency enough. Well, check this out. This is a old Zenith module, tuner module thing. I pulled a transistor out of it figuring it would be high frequency enough for this thing, and I kind of touched it across here. Well, again, trying to do this one-handed is Didn't that song show up in the germanium transistor video too?
And dedications all night long at 1-800-681-2121.
Hello, checking in here. We're going to have 5.
We folk now. Epidemic. Stop
From you.
I need a companion, girl. I guess that must be you.
Pretty good for the antenna not even being up. I put an antenna on it.
De tus derechos.
So, just as I thought, the FM oscillator transistor was bad, and it was one of these weird epoxy ones with the epoxy on the top of it. I've seen a lot of these go bad. And well, geez, I tried about 4 transistors in there before I pulled one out of that tuner, that Zenith tuner, and it worked. So it's very critical. The FM front end stuff is very critical. You can't just really put a 2N2222 in there. Well, I think I found our reduced capacitor. That's what I would expect with the volume wide open.
Because most of these promoters are dangerous.
Okay, I changed that capacitor and now it's working like it should. It drives it well into clipping, which maximum volume just being loud is never enough. It should crank. It should have enough headroom to where when you turn it up, you know, you get So I think we're good here. I'm gonna try and put it back together. I'm gonna try tomorrow when the sun lights out. I'm gonna try and put this back together. Here's some of that fine corporate standardized programming that recycled some song from the 60s or something like that. Absolutely brilliant. Well, maybe you're lonely because your music sucks. Okay, that's 88.1 and I was on 100.1, so you could see I need to shift this up here. Let's see. Where's AM?
As opposed to the general manager, Ned Coletti.
This thing is really tight. You ever notice that the main phrase in all this modern music is like a this, like a that, like a you, like a me, like a he, like a she, like a. You could just have a song that just goes like a for like 2.5 minutes, because that's the attention span, and that would be it. You'd be a Puffy Daddy Jay-Z for years to come.
Applicants qualified.
On Judgment Day, not one of us could.
Okay, so we changed that transistor right there. You can tell it's different. It's the one out of the Zenith tuner. We changed that capacitor right there. That's it. Works good now. And it has ample gain. That's with the antenna down.